Hello there, this is Grog Strongjaw. You're listening to DDO Players News Podcast. Enjoy.
Hey now, everybody, welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest from the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online, the tabletop, and beyond. I am your host, Drac, and I am joined by the man, the myth, we all know him, it is Evil Beeker, the most famous person that I know of.
The myth? Wow.
Yeah.
Famous person? I don't know about that. But hello, everybody.
Hey, I tell him that all the time, and he's like, I'm not famous. And I'm like, you're famous, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, the most not famous person I know. How's that? Is that better?
Very good. I even got a shirt that says not famous. You
do, because the last time we had dinner, you wore it, actually. I was cracking up. So, other than being sick, how's it going?
Good. Busy. A lot of stuff starting to happen. The warm weather's approaching, and with that comes a lot more gaming, I think.
Yes, indeed. And there's going to be a lot of non-DDO news coming soon, because the Gamma Trade Show, I think, is next week. I think it's next week. So there'll be a lot of tabletop news, RPG and board game coming out of there soon. And then that pretty much starts up convention season, which we're going to talk about some conventions in a little bit. But let's start out with some DDO news. Biggest news, of course, is the 20th anniversary, and the update 78 hit on Wednesday, February 25th. That is what brought us the Natural 20 update, which is what they're calling it, because, they roll the Natty 20. It's their 20th anniversary. I wonder how long it took them to come up with that.
There is no other selection for that. I mean,
exactly.
It had to be that.
I agree. So, yeah, anniversary is going on now. Lots of stuff included in that. So we got the Sterling's Remnant Rush that's going on. We got the Arcane Trickster. We got the 20th anniversary cloak. Got the old dungeon and the new anniversary dungeon, the new anniversary island. So there is a lot going on. Once again, talk to Fred in either House Jarasco, House Fjarlin, or near the entrance to Mist of Ravenloft in Jarasco, and that's how you can get to the anniversary island.
He's also in the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I think he's in the Hall of Heroes too. I haven't.
That's actually where I've used him mostly there. He's on the bottom level. Like if you teleport in, you got to go down. You got to go downstairs. But downstairs is the Cloak Apprentice, the Fred, and another Sterling.
Okay,
Sterling the rip-off artist. That's my thought on that.
I mean, he's a mimic. Come on, he can mimic himself, right?
I know, but I spent some remnants with Sterling, and I was not happy, and I don't think I'll be doing it again.
I haven't done it yet. I was going to ask you if you've done it.
I did.
We talked about it a couple. The last episode that we did, I was with Axel. We kind of talked about that and what some of the rewards you can get. And yeah, I've seen some mixed feedback on that on the forums, actually. So I actually haven't done it. I think I will turn some in. I'm not going to be crazy and turn in all of my remnants, but.
Well, and I don't have a ton to turn in. I spend them.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
And if you're sitting on a couple thou, then absolutely do it. But the card thing, no. As soon as I get that card thing, I'm like, oh, nope, I'm done. Because you're going to have to spend at least a minimum, if you get it, 1,000 remnants just to get the deck of many things. I think it's 1,000. It might be a little more, but it's you get a random drop.
Right.
Or a random ability that you apply to something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got a Reaper bonus applied to a pair of gloves.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That wasn't so bad. So I tried
Yeah,
it again.
no, yeah.
Got the card thing, realized what it was all about, read a little bit of it online, said, nope, I'm out.
So, well,
That's just me, but everybody should, have as much fun as you want with it. But like I said, if you're sitting on tens of thousands of remnants, then this is a party for you.
yeah.
But
Like,
but for those of us who don't get a lot of remnants,
which I'm raising my hand. I'm that person. So,
yeah. And for those who haven't heard me say it before, Drac is the only person I know in DDO who can get one remnant during double remnants
Yep.
boost. Got
Yep.
one.
And it was live on a stream, so there used to be proof. I'm not sure if that video is still around or not.
No, it's fallen off my stream by now, but
Yep.
Even though double remnants isn't what you think it is, it's not that you get double remnants, it's a double try for remnants.
Right, you get a double chance of getting a remnant, but yeah.
Yeah, but you would have to get one twice to get one.
Yep. Oh, RNG.
And that was on at least an elite dungeon, maybe even a Reaper dungeon.
I can't remember.
It was in Ravenloft, but
of course that wasn't the same dungeon where I didn't even get the chest, was it? I can't remember.
No, that was a different one.
That was a different one. Okay.
Where I could see the chest, open the chest, and then Drac sends me a screen caption of his view, and the chest wasn't there. They literally denied him a chest in the worst way.
Yep. RNG.
But anyway, hey, I don't go by my jaded experience with Sterling.
Right.
He seems like a nice mimic. So, feed him what you got.
Your miles may vary, put it that way. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Like I said, I've got some remnants that sure I'll give it a shot and see what it has. But let us know. Send us an email or comment if you have done Sterling and you're pretty happy with the results. Let us know. Also, as we said, the Arcane Trickster is now here. That's the new rogue archetype. It's free to everyone for a limited time. You can find the Giver of Gifts on the Anniversary Island, and that's going to add Arcane Trickster to your game account. Make sure that you do claim that before March 31st. That's when he goes away. After that, it will be free to VIP, but you will have to buy it in the store if you don't claim it. So might as well just claim it for free and get it unlocked, even if you don't have any plans to make one right now. Just unlock it on your account. Key is, after you talk to the Giver of Gifts, log out, log back in. That's what actually forces the unlock for it, because it has to do some token thing on the back end to say, yeah, you actually own this. So if you talk to the Giver of Gifts and then you try to make a new character and you don't see it, it's because you didn't log out. You have to log all the way out and log back in, and that's what forces it. So just keep that in mind. And I know you have played with the Arcane Trickster just a little bit. I haven't even claimed it. I haven't done anything with the anniversary event. So
yeah, well, I've been homesick this week, so I took some time in between naps and fluids to play around with the Trickster a little bit. Just as a overall note, if you wanted to get a character to level 10 really quick, now's the time. If you have enough favor to start a 7th level character and then use the anniversary bonus, you can get to level 10. Level 10 in one bubble, I believe. Almost 2 bubbles.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that is a nice little
so I made
trick.
Yep. I made a straight up trickster. It turned out really well. I'm not gonna lie. If you build it right, it's still going to be a pretty good rogue. Between the different enhancement trees and whatnot. But the slapping and the eye poking with the hand and all that stuff, that's cute. It's cute at probably lower levels. I don't know how. I'd be interested to know how it performs in epics. I know Shrimp Tom's been doing like a ton of videos on it. I think he's got one into capped already.
Of course he does.
Which is amazing. But and then I made a second one where I did 2 levels of Trickster and then 8 levels of Artie. And I kind of really like that build because the Trickster can add like force damage to your attacks, and then take the rapier with the non-rune arm hand, and then take what's the feat that lets you the single weapon fighting feat. And I think that might be the build I'm going with. I was kind of playing around with something because I want to reincarnate somebody, and I'm like, oh yeah, that I might have to reincarnate and do that build and give it a try. So, but I did notice now I don't play a lot of rogues because somebody that I game with doesn't always plays a rogue, and then I have to play something else.
Don't know who that would be.
I don't know who that would be. But before 10th level, they did get improved evasion, and I haven't had a chance to go back and look and see if a regular rogue gets that before 10th level. So that was yeah. So I mean, I could probably go either way, but yeah, the Trickster is kind of cool. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention about the and I forget the name, but the guy who gives you your cape, your 20th anniversary cape,
the Weaver.
Yeah, the Weaver, yeah. So
the Weaver Master of Cloaks, that's his name.
Weaver Master of Cloaks. But you can only get 1 cloak from him. See, this goofed me up a little bit.
Yep, we were just about ready to talk about that.
Yeah, you can only get 1 cloak from him, and then if you want to get more cloaks, you have to go to his apprentice who's down in the aforementioned Hall of Heroes on the bottom level. I didn't like that. Because it's like more running around that you don't have to do. So it took me a couple of times because, of course, being homesick, I cycled through pretty much all my characters for the event, and I figured it out really quick, but still, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they did that. I'm sure there was some reasoning behind that. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's for the 20th anniversary cloak, which does look pretty nice. I like the D20 that's on the back of the cloak. It looks really nice.
I liked it better than the 15th one.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've got guys that have been wearing the 15th one forever, but it does. It's got a nice that gold trim and the big die. No, it looks nice.
Yeah, and he once again he talked to the Weaver Master of Cloaks. He's located just around the corner from Sterling. On Anniversary Island, and then, as you said, once you acquire a cloak by speaking with him, you can go to the Hall of Heroes and get additional cloaks for your account by interacting with the Weaver and training Apprentice of Cloaks, and he's on the lower floor of the Hall of Heroes too. So,
yep.
Which they seem, I kind of like that they're using the Hall of Heroes a lot for stuff like that, because there really wasn't that much of a need to go there.
Oh, I use it as a hub all the time because it's got a banker, an auctioneer, and a mailbox like within a couple.
Oh, I always that's true. I always forget all that stuff.
I mean, people use their guild ship for it for pretty much the same thing, but and then plus you got the teleporter and the guild ship access right all in the same area. That's why I go there.
So go celebrate the 20th anniversary, and it's going to run until March 31st, so you got plenty of time to do that. This patch also had a bunch of bug fixes and balance changes, all that fun stuff. You can go into the show notes over on the site, and you can find all of these. We're not going to read all these because we would be here forever if we would go through this whole list.
There's quite a few.
There is quite a bit.
I mean, I see a lot of damn fear tweaks.
Yep.
Just other stuff. I've actually seen some of these now that I'm scrolling down them here. In fact, I think I sent in a support ticket on one of them. I mean, there's quite a bit. So I'm glad that on top of everything else, they're getting back to like just general improvements.
Yep.
Because there was a time. I mean, how long did the classic is like? How long did we live with the ladder bug? I mean, I mean, I think we still have the ladder bug in some places, but
Yeah, I haven't encountered the ladder bug in a long time.
Yeah,
so.
but it was there forever. I mean, it got.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it basically got infamous until somebody finally said, "Okay, we're taking the crap for the ladder bug."
Yeah, let's
we gotta fix that.
Let's go do and fix this. The big thing that I noticed for me that I'm glad they did address was, and I know for sure that it works because I tried it Friday when we were playing, the Bleed the Weak in Dark Hunter. It is now properly scaling with double strike and our double shot. Thank you.
Not familiar.
Yeah.
Not familiar, but
it was not working properly at all. But yeah, now it actually did do correct because I tried it because I saw this patch note and I'm like, let's see if this actually works, and it did. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of little stuff. They fixed a bunch of typos, stuff like that, and then as we said, there's a lot of fixes to Dampier. There is some changes to double shot in the advanced ninja tree. Stuff like that. So yeah, so read all of the patch notes. As I said, they're all here. There'll be a link in the show notes for the post over on the forum, so you can read all this because, like I said, there's a lot. But yeah, there are some known issues. So let's talk about those. Make sure everybody, in case you weren't aware of this, there are several known issues. Supposed to be a patch. Was supposed to happen on Friday to address these known issues. And I guess something happened with the build, and the build didn't go through the QA checks, so they couldn't do the patch. That patch is scheduled for sometimes this week. Stay tuned. We'll know at some point when this patch is. But currently in the game, if you listen to this, probably within the next few days after this episode comes out, I'm guessing the patch, usually it seems like they always try to do patches on Wednesdays, so I'm guessing the patch might be Wednesday, but just keep in mind, this is as of we're recording, which is on Sunday, March 1st. Happy March, by the way. I just realized it was actually March. That's crazy. These are the known issues. The tooltip for the Arcane Trickster enhancement, not half bad's blade / bolt, incorrectly states that it does crit damage when the benefit is actually critical hit chance. So keep that in mind if you're playing the Trickster, so you don't get confused on why it's not working. Technically it is. It just states it wrong in the tooltip. The 20th anniversary token that you get, that's the token that you get that you can trade in for your gift. That can be sold at a vendor. Don't do that.
What?
Don't sell your token. But if you do accidentally sell the token, it should be available in the buyback from the vendor. But don't wait.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was a little oopsie.
But hold on. How much can you get for it?
I don't know. I haven't tried. Maybe I should try. Maybe that's a good way to make some money.
Well, I mean, technically it's
Right.
worth 20,000 XP minimum. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, don't sell your token. Trade that in. Get your gift. Once again, go back to the last episode with myself and Axel, and we talk about all the gifts. The level 36 items cannot currently display in your shared bank, your character bank, or your reincarnation cache, since those UI elements can only display up to level 34. Cordovan on his stream did kind of explain this a little more. What is happening is there are some level 36 items that you can get. Since level 36 is not a thing yet, that won't be a thing until the expansion. The game really doesn't know what to do with those. So when you're looking in your banks, it can't see that item at all because it's only looking for levels 1 to 34. So if you have one of those level 36 items, it's going to be like you don't have it. They're working to correct that. If these items end up in your reincarnation cache, you will not be able to empty your cache in order to reincarnate again until they correct that. So if you planned on reincarnating within the next couple days and you have one of those level 36 items, you're going to have to wait because you're not going to be able to reincarnate because you're going to get like It's like this weird loop that it doesn't know what to do because that item exists, but it doesn't exist. So keep that in mind as well. Once again, a patch at some point this week is going to take care of all these. Big thing also to do with the 20th anniversary token is the bow that you can get, Void the Endless Cold. That is what they're calling an exclusive item. So that means you can only have one of those items. So if you select that item and you have another Void bow in your inventory, the token for that Void selection is not going to deliver to you, but you are going to use your token. So you're not going to get a reward. So if you have Void, don't take Void as your option because you're just going to throw your token away and you're not going to get anything. So I'm not sure why you would want to claim it again if you have one, but
A mistake.
yeah, I can see that. So yeah. So once again, if you have Void, the Endless Cold in your inventory, don't pick that for your 20th anniversary reward because you're not going to get another one and you're going to lose your token. But all this should be fixed in an upcoming patch at some point this week. Stay tuned to forums, all their socials, all of that. They should talk about when that comes out. So that is update 78, Natural 20. Also, they did announce that the latest Patron's Coffer that just came out, the Midnight Wing, that came out not too long ago, it is back in the store for a limited time. So if you missed out on that, you can get that again. So keep that in mind. Looks like
also known as the Chicken Coffer.
The Chicken Coffer, indeed. Because that mask does make you look like a chicken, 100%. That's why I don't wear the mask.
Yeah,
I like the mount though. The mount's cool, but other than the helmet, which I talked about in my video that I made on the Patron's Coffer, SSG, if you're hearing my voice, stop putting mask and helmets on mounts. I don't understand it. It annoys me to no end. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
It might be just you.
It probably is. But that's available in the DDO store through March 25th. So you have a little while to get that if you would like. Only other thing, game news related, is I did have a chat with senior producer Tolero. That video was up. She did actually answer some questions I didn't think she was going to answer that I asked her. So we did find out some stuff. We found out some hints of some other stuff about the expansion and stuff, which I knew she wasn't going to be able to answer, but I asked her anyway. So yeah, check that video out. If you haven't, there'll be a link in the show note for that. People so far seem to have liked it. It's getting more views than I figured it would, so I appreciate that. And everybody's been, for the most part, pretty kind. It was actually a video, which I was hesitant to do a video, but I actually did video. So if you haven't got the chance to see my ugly face, now you'll be able to.
Stop it.
I would just listen to the audio version if I were you, but there you go.
Well, like I said to you on Friday, the only thing that sucked about that video was you didn't mirror your camera, so your shirt says Ravenloft backwards. So rookie mistake, but still a great video. I am Loft Raven now, apparently. Yeah, I realized that when I was editing the video. I was like, oh crap, my shirt's backwards. So that kind of sucked, but yeah. So go check that out as well. And that's really about it for game news. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about the anniversary or anything like that? Not really. I mean, the only other thing for me so far, I mean, I did the old dungeon once. It's basically the same. I didn't do the new dungeon. It was a little laggy last night. I mean, Saturday night, everybody's logging in and out. I'm hoping that by next week that'll clear up. But for me, because I have a fair number of characters that are like under level 20, and honestly, I took the experience points. Now that gets, in some cases, that got me 2 levels. if you're like 3 or 4 bubbles into a level, that's going to actually get you 2 full levels of experience. And I think that worked out well. Now, characters I had that were over 20, yeah, then I was kind of more selective in going through the list and seeing, okay, when can I use this? How soon do I think this character is going to be there? Blah, 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 type of thing. But, yeah, it was okay. I wasn't wholly disappointed. I mean, I know a lot of people complain, oh, this loot sucks. Well, maybe because you have everything already, take the win,
There's always the experience, exactly.
Yeah. The one thing I would have suggested though is have a unique item. Okay? Something that's unique, like only to the 20th anniversary event. Like maybe maybe a red voice of the master or something like that to match the back of the cape. I was thinking about that last night.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And maybe it's a voice of the master and it's got an extra slot in it or something. Because sometimes people don't get their voice of the masters, first life, second life.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So, but I guess the one downside thing is I thought that there wasn't a good balance of items. I thought that there should the majority of the stuff was all epic and mostly high epic. And the stuff that was under level 20, it was underwhelming.
Yeah, there really wasn't a lot of good. That's why I'm struggling on some of my characters. Like, what am I going to do? I'm probably just going to take the XP because some of my characters I know I'm never going to get to epic. So It's like none of that loot's going to do me any good. But the characters that I am in epic now, I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to take for that. I know what I want, but I can't use it for a while because I'm not quite high enough level for it. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the example I'll fall back on would be like the Broccoli Basher. You can only get that by running the anniversary dungeon. Well, I mean, some people don't want to run the anniversary dungeon 20 times to get a Broccoli Basher.
Right.
Have it offer up as a anniversary event. Just some quick thoughts.
We do have store sales going on through March 5th. There is double bonus points, so you get twice the bonus points in the DDO store. And that actually runs through March 8th, so take advantage of that. The McRib of DDO, that's right, the Autos boxes are back, also through March 8th in the store. Then we just talked about the Midnight Wings Patrons Coffer. It is through March 25th. But then through March 5th in the store, it is the Dress to Kill sale, 35% off, Mirrors of Glamoring, bypass timers, cosmetic outfits, hats, helms, and hair dyes, as I said, through March 5th, and the free weekly coupon code. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know this was a thing in the game. It is a hair dye reversion tonic. Coupon code is CLEANUP, CLEANUP, all uppercase. Keep in mind when you enter a code into the store, it's got to be all uppercase or it's not going to work. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, that you could even reverse your hair color. Who knew?
Yep.
So I guess if you don't like your hair color, get the freebie this week and get a new hair color.
You don't pick that. Yeah, you just pick one hair color. Yeah. Go with it.
Yeah, I don't ever really change my hair color.
That's so we have a couple of different rules sometimes when we game with certain people. One, if you get a potion of wonder, you have to drink it immediately. That's number one. And that one's killed a couple characters already. And then number two, hair dye, you either have to use it or somebody in the party has to use it. Yeah, it's just stupid house rules.
Well, there you go. I'm glad I haven't pulled a hair dye then, because I like my hair color. Thank you very much. So let's move away from the DDO news and go to the world of the tabletop. We're going to start out coming in from the dungeon. And the big thing, the big news is Tunnels and Trolls is coming back. Rebellion Unplugged now has the rights to Tunnels and Trolls, and they are going to make a new version of that. It's going to be a Kickstarter, which is coming March 17th, so not too far away. As we're recording about 16 days. You can go click on that and check it out. You can also get the beta quick start rules right now if you want to.
Which I'm downloading as we speak.
I haven't actually looked at them yet, but yeah, Tunnels and Trolls is one of those games that I played for a little while and then I kind of got bored with it.
It is a quickly get bored game. I mean, at least the original one. Now, I want to say that there was another version of Tunnels and Trolls not too long ago. But I could be wrong about that. I sometimes would get your mixed up ancient role playing games mixed up. But but yeah, it had a following back in the day simply because it was. I mean, remember early '80s there was very very few offerings for role playing games other than D&D, You'd literally have to go overseas to get some role playing games like The Dark Eye, which I won't even try to not butcher the German version because that was a German role playing game. There's also Dragons and Demons, which today is called Dragonbane, which is a Swedish game. But as far as American games go, there really wasn't a whole lot of American games until, I don't know, 85, 86 is when other things started popping up. I mean, you had Traveler back in the day. You had a couple other ones. But and Traveler's getting redone in 5th edition. That Kickstarter's coming real soon. So a lot of people are falling back on the old style games. Tunnels and Trolls could be a great beginner game.
It was I enjoyed it
for somebody. I'm kind of scrolling through the Kickstarter right now, and
it's called Tunnels and Trolls: A New Age is what they're calling it. They are updating some things and changing some things, but they're trying to stay as close to the original as they can, but they're updating it for modern gameplay. Yeah, and a lot of, Dragonbane, Dragons and Demons they have a mechanic that they don't call it advantage and disadvantage, but it's basically advantage and disadvantage. That wasn't in the original game either. So yeah, a lot of these companies that are revisiting the old games, they're applying new things to them, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. I would be interested to know how well this does. I'm gonna watch this Kickstarter for sure.
Yeah. I don't think this would be one that I would pick up myself, but this might be a good beginner game for folks. Maybe somebody that's not wanting to dump $200 to get D&D, they can start with something like this. I saw another. I sent you a picture, I think, when I was at GameholeCon. There was another guy that was putting out a game. It really looked a lot like this, to be honest, but it was basically D&D for kids, and it focused on having a young dungeon master and young kids, and but yeah. I'd be interested to know how this does.
But if you're kind of interested in the history of Tunnels and Trolls, way back when in 2016 at Gen Con, we did do an interview with Ken St. Andrew. He's the one that invented Tunnels and Trolls. We did an interview with him. I link that over in the article if you want to watch that. It's a really old video. I had really crappy video equipment then, so the video's not the greatest, but the interview turned out pretty good. I mean, he was a cool guy to interview. He's a little odd gentleman, we'll put it that way. But so if you want to check that out, if you're interested in Tunnels and Trolls, the history of it, go check that out. But yeah, March 17th is when this Kickstarter is launching. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I don't know if I'm going to back it or not. Like, I mean, like I said, I have the original Tunnels and Trolls, and I have like the updated whatever anniversary edition. I have that too, but yeah, I just don't know if. I mean, I'm not that much of a huge Tunnels and Trolls fan that I'm going to say, oh yeah, this is an instant back day one when it starts for me. But we'll see, I guess.
Sure. And speaking of trolls,
yeah, indeed. Yeah, let's talk about some other Kickstarters because we always do that when you're here. That seems to be our thing now. When you're on the show, we talk about Kickstarters.
But not so much Kickstarters as new games coming out.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, most new games that come out are Kickstarted. So
yeah, it's true.
So I've said many times that I'm a fan of Dragonbane. It's a very good game. I don't play it as much as I'd like, but we play it a couple times a year when I get together with certain friends. And there's a lot, the aforementioned German game, The Dark Eye. There's, if not dozens, if not hundreds of books of old material, and Dragons and Demons, aka Dragonbane, is the same. And basically, they're redoing the original campaign for Dragonbane called Trudvang. The Legend Returns. I'll read right from the Kickstarter page. An iconic world of deep forests and endless mysteries return to its roots as a standalone RPG based on the award-winning Dragonbane. So, if you didn't pick up the Dragonbane starter box, which is an awesome product, you could get started with the whole Dragonbane campaign with the rules and everything. They're almost at $1 million. They're at $942 right now, and look at it just for the art. The art is amazing. The cover of the core rule book is just nothing but trolls, and again, this is a Free League product, and Free League kicks it out of the park on a regular basis with some of their things. And this is incredible. Full disclosure, I probably won't pick this up in a Kickstarter. I'll probably look at it. It's not due out for over a year, so I'm definitely going to look at it. Once it's sitting on the shelf, or if I see it at a convention type of thing. But if you're into Kickstarters, and they have tons of extras on it, like cloth accessories, cloth maps, exclusive books. And the prices are all in Swedish. What is the currency? It's SEC. I don't remember what that's called, but anyway, or no, not is that Finnish?
It's probably Sweden. Yeah, it's Swedish. Like,
because normally when you buy stuff from that is the Swedish kronar. That must
kronar. Thank you. I couldn't think of what the name of those were.
But normally it was KR for kronar, so they must be changing that up. That must be some Swedish thing that us stupid Americans don't know about.
Exactly.
But I mean, they got dice, they got art books, all the big things. And when they do this, they do it in English and in Swedish. So, if you want to pick up a really good original skill-based game with just tremendous art and tons of history, I highly recommend this. So.
And the 30th anniversary of Deadlands is also on Kickstarter, which I didn't know about this until you added this into the show notes. And I'm like, I didn't even know Deadlands had a new version coming out.
Yeah, Matt Forbick, who is a friend of mine and follow him, and Shane Hensley started Deadlands 30 years ago, and Matt's complaining online about how old he is now. I'm like, yeah, we're getting old there, buddy.
Yep, we're all getting old.
But I mean, this version of Deadlands is a tiny bit different than the original. I mean, the original had the quote unquote the Deadland rules. Now it's Savage Worlds rules. Mostly the same, but 30 years for an RPG to go 30 years and still be around and kicking, that's That's really incredible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, good for them.
And most game companies today they do these Kickstarters because it helps produce the product. Okay, so now with all Kickstarters, you're taking a chance that it doesn't get fulfilled. I'm in one of the famously unfulfilled Kickstarters out there. I won't say which one it is, but
me too. I've got 2.
yeah. So you do take your chance, but I stick to established companies. Free League, Pinnacle Entertainment, which is Shane Hensley's company that does Deadlands. Staying with those guys. I mean, it's usually a pretty darn good bet. And again, through the Kickstarters, you get all the special stuff, special dice, all the stretch goals. You do get a lot, but the game, this isn't. Oh, and actually, wow, the starter box is fulfilling this fall. That's not too bad. And actually, he's looking at a November delivery for all this stuff. So,
which, if that's true, this is already in production now.
Yeah. So, which is nice. I mean, because some Kickstarters, they do the Kickstarter, and the guys aren't even done writing stuff yet.
Oh yeah, that annoys me when that happens.
Those are the ones you got to kind of decide whether you want to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't talked to Shane in years, but Shane's a great guy. His stuff is always top notch, and this is a great game to have. If you ever want to play something different, Western with a little bit of grit and monsters, this is the game to have. There's been a couple of knockoffs over the years, but to me, Deadlands is the one to have.
I have always wanted to play Deadlands, but I've never had a chance to play it, and that is one that I've always wanted to play because, especially when I found out it was like the Weird West with like monsters and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yes, I want to do this, but yeah, I just never had a chance to play it. So
yeah, we had some classic games back in the original when I bought the original books and played it with our gaming group. There's some stories to tell from those games. We had a lot of fun.
So there you go, Deadlands 30th anniversary now on Kickstarter, and the pre-orders. I want to say the late back
post orders,
yeah, late back of the Shadowdark Western Reaches that is now closed. So
as of yesterday, yep.
As of yesterday. So if you didn't get in on that Kickstarter at all, you have to wait until it goes retail at this point, unless Kelsey opens it up one more time, which may or may not happen. I know sometimes it happens, but usually you only have a limited time to late back because it's getting into crunch time now where they have to know how many they're going to print and how many they need to print to fulfill and all of that stuff. So
yeah, and this was 3.1 million. Now, we just talked about Kickstarters and fulfilling and everything. She's behind. This was supposed to come out in December.
Yeah. This has been a little rocky, especially for her. This has been kind of a rocky Kickstarter this time.
Well, tariffs, I'm sure aren't helping.
Tariffs was a big thing, and then there was some medical things that happened too, which was out of her control, and there's some other stuff that happened. But yeah, so it's just been. I have faith that she's going to be able to do it. It's just going to be late, unfortunately, but I don't have any doubts in my mind that this will get fulfilled. It's not as quick as I would like it to, but
well, me neither, but this is the kind of thing that people have to understand when they do Kickstarter. And Kickstarter, not even just for games. I mean, there's Kickstarters for tabletop games, comic books, books.
Anything that you do, like a Kickstarter or a game founder, a backer kit on, like this is the risk that you run. It's like the nature of the beast for crowdfunding.
But I'm excited to dig into this when it comes through because I've been running 2 Shadowdark campaigns November, so I'm real excited about this. So And this is a really, for oh, this is a DDO podcast. Why are you talking about role playing books? Well,
Exactly.
this is if you ever want to try a role playing game, this is a really easy one to get into.
It is. 100%.
It's very rules light. It's story based. It's deadly as hell. And there are no resurrection shrines. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
But if you're looking for an alternative, get your eyeballs away from the computer and behind a table with friends and whatnot. This comes highly recommended.
Go roll some dice on the table, people. That's what it's all about.
Indeed.
Let's look at From the Tabletop. See what's going on over there. The big news is it's been a long time since we talked about this. I almost forgot about this lawsuit. But there was a Magic the Gathering lawsuit that was initiated by a couple shareholders who accused the company of allegedly overprinting Magic the Gathering cards voluntarily to overhype them and to get more cards in the system, and that drove shares down. So the shareholders were like, nope, you're doing this on purpose and I'm losing money. This is on you. That lawsuit has now been dismissed, and it was
dismissed but can still be reopened.
No, it cannot. That's new then. Yeah, it was dismissed without prejudice. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it can. I thought it was with prejudice.
Oh no, it's
my
without.
bad. Yes. Yep, without. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So what this is all about? So there's a lot of questionable business practices out there regarding Hasbro. Love them or hate them.
Listen to any former podcast, and you'll hear all about that. And my feelings on good old Hasbro, but yes.
So Hasbro's broken up into several divisions, and Wizards of the Coast, which has D&D and Magic, is one of them. So they're saying that, in their earnings reports, they're saying that the company isn't losing money, but it's not necessarily losing money, but certain divisions are extremely underperforming, and to compensate for that, Hasbro's been printing more and more Magic cards because Magic is just the cash cow.
Oh yeah, 100%
of Hasbro. And what the filing was all about was that they're trying to pad the stock price by selling too many Magic cards. They had because they're like branching out into other things now. It's not just the Magic world, or I forget what the Magic world is even called, but they're doing Marvel superhero cards. They were doing Lotro cards.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just came out this weekend.
Yeah. So there was another one. I'm not thinking of it though.
Walking Dead was one of the other big ones that was, they're doing a lot of sets for Magic now. And
the stockholders are worried because they're like I said, the whole reason they're doing this is because other parts of Hasbro are just failing miserably. There's a huge rumor out there that D&D is in ginormous trouble, and now they're trying to bring in Ed Greenwood and Tracy Hickman to help save the brand, as it were. So we'll see. I mean, put your money where your mouth is. I'm sure a big wad of cash might have shut these guys up, but who knows what happened? But it's unprecedented in the gaming industry. And Magic kind of is the good-looking stepbrother of D&D. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's kind of a weird thing to have it pop up and then have it quietly go away. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the two people that filed the suit try again, though.
yeah,
Maybe they'll try a different approach this time or something. But
yeah.
it'll be interesting.
If I look at the last 6 months of Hasbro stock, it has gone up. I mean, December was $82 a share, and then in February it peaked at $93 a share. So it's definitely up, but it's not up because the whole thing was it's not up because the company's doing well. It's up because Magic is selling, and that's driving revenues up to a place where they probably shouldn't be. So
it will be interesting for sure. And another cash cow, as it were, is Baldur's Gate 3. Slap Baldur's Gate 3 on something and it will sell. See last week's episode where we talked about the blind dice bags that were Baldur's Gate 3 themed. Now there's a deck of playing cards, which they are making sure to call the collector's playing cards.
Oh boy.
By a company called Denmike, I guess that's how you say it. I've never heard of the company, but I looked at their website, and they do a lot of like officially licensed products. They do like shirts and all sorts of stuff too. Hey, did we really need Baldur's Gate 3 playing cards?
I think I said on a previous stream that you did that TSR was trying to get like Dungeons and Dragons playing cards in casinos and stuff back in the day. And now look today they got slot machines and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I mean, and the playing and don't be fooled. These playing cards have characters from the game on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have like all the main characters. They've got some other graphics and stuff. And there's 3 editions. There's the collector's edition. And then they're calling the Magic Edition and the Multi-Class Edition. The only difference is the way the cards look. They either, like the Collector's Edition has premium gold foiling on it. The other two have like black and red foiling. But $28 for a deck of cards seems a little...
See, and I'm reading your... obviously you copied and pasted this from their website a little bit. These cards sit in the sweet spot of being an affordable gift for a friend. Oh, no, they're not an affordable gift for a friend. A deck of playing cards at Walmart is $4. And high-quality addition to your own gaming setup.
If you look at, like, the high-end collector's edition cards like this that are like premium trading cards, $28 is not bad, because there has been some like playing cards that have been on Kickstarter that are like $100 or more a deck.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, but I mean, if I'm buying playing cards, it's to play cards, not collect them.
Right.
I mean, that's just me though.
Like like in the Silver Bayonet miniature game, which I'm playing right now with a friend, you use cards when you find one of the objectives that you're going for. You draw a card, and that's how you get, you find out what you found on that objective instead of like rolling a dice. You just pull a card and then you look at a chart. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy a $28 deck of cards to flip over to find out what I found or something like that. But if you're a collector of Baldur's Gate 3, sure, you're probably gonna get these, and you're never gonna use these.
Yep.
But
or you use them, a couple of times as a special occasion type of thing. So I mean, there's definitely, I'm sure that there's going to be a market for it. I mean, Baldur's Gate is just crazy, and
it's still hot right now. Even it's been out for a couple of years now, but it's still really, really hot. So, and there's still,
who knows what Baldur's Gate 4 is going to be.
Yeah, that's all.
It could be. What was the? It was 6 years between 2 and 3,
something like that.
7?
6 or 7, something like that. Yeah.
So who knows? It could be another 10 years. So get on the Baldur's Gate bandwagon when you can. Go back and play the old games though; they're fun too.
Yes, they are. I love those. Man, I'm going to have to play those now too. I haven't played those in forever.
I got my original CDs still.
Yeah, I do too. I'm looking at the I have the actual big boxes sitting over on my shelf. I'm looking at it right now, actually. Let's take a look. Comic page. See what's going on with that. Dark Horse is bringing back Dungeons and Dragons Animated Adventures. This is going to be a set of books that are celebrating the cartoon. There's three sets of this. It's going to be the Saturday Morning Adventures 1 to 4. Endless Summer. This is an oversized special. And then Morning Adventures 2. Series 1 to 4. I don't remember this ever being out to begin with. Apparently, there was a whole series of comics.
They had comics back in the day. You can find them in the dark corners of the internet. But
I did not remember there was a comic based on the cartoon.
Looking at this picture that you have up on DDO Players. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. It's really got the very kiddie cartoon aspect to it. I don't know,
which I guess sort of kind of makes sense, but yeah, I too looked at this because this is the graphic that they gave in the press release, and I looked at this for a long time, and I'm like, there's something about this that I don't really like, but I can't tell you what it is. Venger seems off to me for one thing. Venger looks weird, but I can't.
Well, it looks too cartoony.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
So here's my problem with it. So there in the new, was it DMG or New Player's Handbook, they started doing drawings of the cartoon, the classic cartoon guys. There's like one picture where it looks like a real D&D adventure cover. The stuff was drawn, really, really well. It wasn't cartoony or anything. That's the D&D comic that I want. I don't want something that looked like the TV show, because to me that's old, way old. I don't think if that's what it is, I think it's going in the wrong direction. But I mean, for people who love these characters, I mean, we all had one of the TSR things that they did was they did little PVC miniatures of all the guys, and I sold mine a while back, but I had a set, and a lot of people loved them. It was great. I mean, I'm a huge advocate of the old Saturday morning cartoons and adventures and whatnot. And you can watch the D&D cartoon on Prime. It's on Prime all the time if you have a Prime subscription. I just want them to grow up and move away from the cartoony look. To be more of a seriously drawn, comic book adventure. That's where I'm gonna kind of go. Okay, well, I'll look at it when it comes out, but I'm gonna be devil's advocate, I think, and because you're right, Venger doesn't look. It's
just Venger looks off in this graphic, but
and then the silhouettes of the kids, they all look straight out of the cartoon.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but there's so many people who have redrawn those characters to look so good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
In like a modern art style, like if you had somebody like Larry Elmore or Clyde Caldwell or something like that draw a comic of these. I mean, even if it wasn't that detailed, anything stepping up from where it was, and there's that unofficial ending to the cartoon that somebody pasted together. I don't know if they used AI or whatever. Here would be their opportunity to have an actual ending to the TV series.
Maybe if this sells well, somebody will do that. Like Dark Horse will do that since they have the rights now. So I guess we'll see. This is a 212-page hardcover book. MSRP on it's $49.99, which for a graphic omnibus, that's about what they normally cost. So I guess the price isn't too bad. It's going to be out August 4th. If you want to pre-order it, you can get it from your local comic store. They should be able to pre-order it for you. I haven't been able to find any other pre-orders online yet. I'm assuming at some point it's going to be on like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all that. Just it's not currently up for pre-order there. So go support your local comic store and pre-order this if you would like it. But it comes out in August. I would like to look at it first, like flip through it a little bit before I would actually buy it. I don't know.
Well,
I would just
with the date, it might be at Gen Con.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Dark Horse is never there, but I'm sure they're, yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean,
there are like some booths there at Gen Con that do have like graphic novels and comic book stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe I will check it out if it is. If not, I will definitely look in my local comic store once it's out. I'm sure they'll get it and I'll flip through it. And I don't know, I might pick it up, I might not. But like I said, I just didn't realize. I knew about the Dungeons and Dragons like comics from it was IDW back in the day is who had the license for it. I just didn't remember them doing a comic based on the cartoon show. I don't know why I missed that.
They did a couple. I mean, it wasn't widely distributed.
Yeah, apparently not, because I didn't even know it was a thing until I got this press release, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well,
but I remember, like I said before, the old cartoon, it was an 80s cartoon, so it's got a little bit of a cheese factor today. I just want to see, I just hope that the comic doesn't directly reflect that.
Right.
To me, that's not worth it.
So
that's just me.
Guess we'll see. To jump into our week in gaming. I will go first. We did do Cruising with Drac on Friday.
Did we? I don't seem to remember that. I remember failing at Cruising with Drac on Friday.
Yeah. Well, we're into the big boy levels now. So yeah, we died to a ballista over and over and over.
Yeah, storming the beaches in House D. Now you're talking about a paladin, a ranger, and a bard.
Well, Dark Hunter, Butcher.
Yeah, but no high-powered caster.
Right.
And I think that's what we were really missing, or even like a favored soul with something like could do really long range. And we couldn't get close enough to these stupid ballistas to kill them, and yeah, we got our butts handed to us.
We did.
It was one and done that night. We didn't go back for seconds.
We did finally finish it though. We actually got through it, but oof, it was a lot of death.
Over an hour. Yeah, it was over an hour, and it was a lot of death and mayhem.
A lot of deaths, a lot of cakes. That's all I'm going to say about that.
There was a few cakes. Yep.
Then elsewhere, I did do a little bit of Silver Bayonet again with my friend. We got through the next 3 scenarios in the book, so I think we have like 9 left in the main book, and then we're going to jump into, I think, the Carpathian book next, I think is what we're going to do. So
cool.
Somebody on this call might be really looking forward to the Carpathian one. Not sure who that would be, except I'm going to have to get the old 3D printer printing away for some new terrain for that, though, because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to need for that. But
oh, very good.
That's the advantage of the 3D printer. I'm like, oh, I'm going to need this, and that for this upcoming scenarios. We'll just print those out. So there you go. And that's really all I did. I've had another one of my weird weeks where I've been pretty busy. So only other thing, like I said, kind of game related was the Tolero interview, which we already talked about, linked check it out if you missed it. So how about you? You've been busy, even though you've been sick, it looks like.
Yeah, a little bit. So a lot of cold medicine to get me through certain things. Which on Wednesday, my buddy Stan Brown. If you don't know who Stan is, give him a look up. He was a TSR designer and editor. He is a wonderful cartoonist. And he has a 50 Years in the Dungeon podcast that he does. He tries to do every week. And he has different people on TSR, Gaming Today, more modern day celebrities. Next week he's got Alex Kramer on, who Alex is a Forgotten Realms author, and he is the guy who's in charge of GameholeCon. So, but I was on his show Wednesday. And it was a memorial to Gene Raby. And I know that you guys talked about Gene a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Gene was my first boss at TSR. She's the reason I started there. I owe Gene so much. And it was sad. She had sent me a Christmas card this year saying she wanted to, despite her health problems, she wanted to try and get back out and see people again. And it just didn't work out. On the show with me was Steve Sullivan, who I can accredit Steve to being one of the people to actually get me involved in D&D. Steve is one of the guys involved that did the comic strips in the back of comic books for D&D. So if you bought comic books in the late 70s or early 80s, in the backs of those comic books there was cartoons about D&D. And then there was a little thing that said, "Hey, pick up D&D." They were promoting the TSR hobby store at the time, but that was my first exposure to D&D. I saw that because I collected comic books since I was 9, and so it was great to talk to Steve again. And then Ann Brown. Ann was a TSR editor, longtime editor. She worked in the book department too, and we all had our own relationships with Gene. And it was really nice to talk about her and the RPGA. So, because without Gene, the RPGA wouldn't have been what it was today. I mean, I still think it's very, very sad that an organization like that is gone from this world, and that really helped gamers get together. And you could say the internet killed it, maybe, but I think. At the time, Wizards didn't want to put any money into it. Adventures League isn't a third of what RPGA used to be, and that was all due to Gene. So check it out over on Stan's page. We had a pretty good time, even though we did have some technical glitches. But what are you going to do? It's the internet, right?
Exactly.
I have since November, as previously mentioned, I have been running 2 Shadowdark campaigns, and we do that. I usually do one week and one the next week. We've been having a spectacular time with that. I've been telling Drac stories from it. No spectacular deaths yet, but still some really good times. If you really want a engaging, rules light game to play, I highly recommend Shadowdark. We're playing in a product called Barrel Maze by a gentleman named Greg Gillespie, and Greg writes a lot of these system neutral OSR type of adventures, and this one is about this area called the Barrow Moor, and in this moor is like the burial grounds for an ancient civilization from thousands and thousands of years ago. So, but it's a swamp now, and you have to trudge through these and find these old crypts and obviously loot them, deal with anything that's living in them, whether it's dead or alive. And then in addition to all that, you're trying to find the entrance to the Barrow Maze, which was this ancient, gigantic crypt that's rumored to be somewhere out there in the swamp. And they're having a pretty good time with it, but I think they're going to start getting a little nasty here real quick. So we'll have to see what happens. I haven't been since before Christmas. Yeah, we've been playing Vaesen from Free League. That is their Nordic horror role playing game. And that's my most recent in person game. So yeah, we play on the internet a lot, but we still try to get together, my old gaming group, and we've been playing Vaesen. If you're into kind of like a Cthulhu-ish type of game, not necessarily a whole lot of combat, but trying to figure out a mystery and fight old monsters or people that are corrupted and by ancient magic and things like that. It's all set. It's like based on Swedish mythology, and Finnish mythology. Monsters from like old bedtime stories and stuff like that. Really, really a cool game. It shows up on Humble Bundle every once in a while. You can pick up the core book for pretty cheap on PDF. Give it a read. I really enjoyed it when we're kind of taking a break from in-person fantasy games and stuff like that. This has turned out to be a real fun adventure or fun game with adventures to play. So, let's see. 2 weeks from Wednesday, I will be at GaryCon. So I've been prepping for that. I have some first edition games that I run, and I'll be running my Marvel Multiverse RPG game, The Poker Nights. Might be the last time I run the Poker Nights at a convention. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's time to move on because I got another idea. I want to keep it fresh. I've said that I'm going to release it to the community because it has been getting some recognition because Matt and I have been running it. And Matt wrote the game, but we'll see. Things could change, but that was always the original plan. And I'm actually playing in 2 Vaesen games. So kind of looking forward to that. And then lastly, putting together my wish list for GaryCon. So this could change depending on what I see when I get there. There are a couple of things that I really want to get, but I do have a budget, so we'll have to see. There's at least one Vaesen book that I want to pick up. There's 2 that I don't have, but I have the PDF for one of them. Basic Role Playing by Chaosium. They put out a 6th edition not too long ago. It's really good, and I like it. I like that old style system with using percentage dice and charts and all. It has very kind of an old schoolish feeling to it. They have a couple of new products for that, including a Vikings game.
Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of looking at that really hard. Back in the day we had a Vikings campaign with the TSR Vikings product, and we had a great time with that. It was a lot of fun. Every once in a while, your players getting this murder hobo mentality, and this is what you want for that. But you can run different genres with this too. You could do science fiction, you can do Wild West, you can do modern day monster kind of like Call of Cthulhu. I mean, it's the system is kind of based on Call of Cthulhu, but there's so much you can do with this. They have a bestiary book that's all fantasy, so you could run a fantasy game using this. So if you're not if you're tired of 5th edition D&D or looking for a new fantasy type game to run, this is a pretty cool one. I really do like it, and I can say this for Free League too. So if you buy for Free League or Chaosium, if you buy their products at the conventions, you get a free PDF, and that's huge because you buy the stuff online or it's your game store, you don't get a free PDF. So a lot of these guys that are doing conventions now, the big companies, they offer a free PDF with your purchases. So
I always love it when companies do that. That is so nice.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the case of Free League, when they go to conventions, they only take credit cards. So you put when you do the credit card, you put it in there. But the Chaosium guys just write your name down and or no, they when they email you, if you put in your email, they email you the receipt and then they send you the PDF. So that's pretty cool.
It is. I agree.
I like that. So, yeah, that's about it for me. Although, unless I'm feeling worse than I am right now, which I've been feeling better a little bit by little bit, I will be in Drac's neighborhood this coming week, and hopefully we'll do some dinner and catch up more.
We will. We'll have to figure that out.
Indeed.
Take a look over on our Patreon. We have 10 supporters. If you'd like to help support DDO players, go to our donations page. That is where you can support the Players Alliance over on Patreon. The Players Alliance is the podcast network we are a part of. Your money is used for things like podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for the live show. If you would like to donate without using Patreon, which a couple people have, we appreciate it. Shoot me an email, drac@ddoplayers.com. Several ways you can do that, but as I always say, because people always ask me, yes, all that money is used only for that stuff. We don't use that money for anything else. It's just to keep the show, the website, all the stuff going. So we do appreciate any help that we can get. We didn't have any reviews on any of the podcasting networks that we're a part of, including now Spotify. So just let me know if you leave us a review and we will read it on the show. We do have quite a few feature comments this week because there was some really good comments from the Tolero interview. Dean F. Wilson said, "Great interview. Delighted to hear that it's a flying bed. My flying carpet remains my most used mount." Yeah, and that is in reference to one of the things that I actually did get her to answer is, you know how in the producer's letter it said we're getting the VIP mount reward this year is going to be a mount that harkens back to one of the Madness of Zoriat quest lines. And everybody was guessing it's going to be the flying bed. Yes, it is going to be the bed that is possessed, but we don't know what she wouldn't answer what the animation's going to be or what's going to be special about it, because there is something special. But yes, it is going to be a flying bed. She did talk about that in the interview, so go listen to that if you want to hear exactly what Tolero had to say about that. And then Julian Lord said maybe in future iterations they could bring back some version of the original Starter Island as one of the time travel quests. That's actually a great idea, because there's not many people that probably even remember that original Starter Island. Are just the original Starter quest, which I found out that no longer exists at all. That is completely gone. But I'm sure you remember
there was that
right?
Yeah. But there was also the starter area that's in what's now the Inspiration Quarter, too.
Right, yep.
Yeah, that's the one I remember the most.
Yeah. So, yeah, that would be neat to see them do that. And then Project Quartame, maybe, sure, says, "I want to see Lady Vol using the chronoscope to have us visit the point in time where her origin story is." I 100% agree with that. Let's do that. I love Lady Vol, obviously. He also goes on to say, "I also want a quest where, and this is a great idea, and I actually kind of want to use this in a tabletop game. I want to see a quest where we are sent by two different people to, one, investigate a mysterious inn in relation to missing people reports, and then two, to audit that inn for taxation purposes. But you only find out that it's a giant mimic describing itself as an inn. See the Mimic Book of Mimics for reference. And the rooms are its stomachs. The staff are its eyes. And means of communicating the monster inside of it are parasites. That would be a great quest to use for a new Sentinel gel. Okay. Okay. Ew. But yes, please. Does that not sound amazing?
So obviously this person hasn't done the purple worm quest.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, well, we kind of already done that a little bit, like inside the stomachs or whatever.
Yeah.
So
inside the stomach of the purple worm quest.
We could do it, but
that's got the god of mimics or the mother of all mimics or something like that.
Yeah, would that not be amazing though?
That sounds like it could be fun.
It could be very fun. And then from the last podcast episode, Bob Jester said, I wasn't a big fan of Borg, but I love Pirate Borg. So thanks for the expansion and starter set update. Oh, and a great recap of the DDO news as well. I did hear that they kept changing the 20th anniversary gift bag contents. See that episode for the talk we had on that. I'll just wait to see what we actually get in game next week. I really wanted that dino horn because I'm too high a level to get the teal 7th and not high enough to get the 31st teal. So thanks to everyone for your comments either on the site or the videos. We appreciate them. If you want to send us an email, it is podcast@ddoplayers.com. Once again, podcast@ddoplayers.com. Final thoughts are we do have 2 shows that are on the Players Alliance Network. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. is Lotro Players News, and then DDO Players News is varies depending on me because I kind of suck at life. So you get the show when you get the show. You can join us for the live shows if we do broadcast live over at ddoplayers.com/live. Any other thing you want to add about anything before we wrap it up for this week?
No, just have fun with the event. If it's not to your liking, then just pass it by.
Indeed.
Don't complain. Have fun. Everybody have fun.
That is the key.
Just out loud.
It's a game, people. Have fun.
Yeah, if you can't have fun, then find something else that you enjoy to have fun. But
agree. So with that, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Beeker, for being on again. I always appreciate you coming on and chatting with me. I'm going to leave you with how I always leave you. Sure hope the RNG is kinder to you than it is to me. See the one remnant as an example.